Passenger gives up first-class seat for Keanu Reeves. Then the unbelievable happens. Picture this. You're at the airport, anxiously waiting for your flight to board. The terminal buzzes with the usual symphony of announcements, rolling suitcases, and half-hearted laughter from tired travelers. You're feeling lucky because today isn't just any day. You managed to snag a first-class ticket, plush seats, extra legroom, and a level of service that makes you feel like royalty. It's a small win in the chaotic world of air travel. As you sit there sipping your coffee and scrolling through your phone, you notice a quiet commotion near the boarding gate. Heads are turning, whispers are spreading, and there's a subtle shift in the atmosphere. You glance up, curiosity piqued. At first, you think it might just be someone running late for the flight, but then you see him. Tall, modestly dressed, and carrying his own bag. It's none other than Keanu Reeves. Yes, that Keanu Reeves. The movie star, the action hero, the internet's favorite, wholesome guy. Your heart skips a beat. Keanu's here, and for a moment, you're starstruck. But what really catches your attention isn't just his presence, it's his demeanor. Unlike other celebrities who might demand VIP treatment or avoid eye contact with fans, Keanu seems normal. He stands in line like everyone else, smiling politely, quietly waiting his turn. He's not even in first class. He's holding a coach ticket. It's almost unbelievable, but then again, this is Keanu Reeves we're talking about. As the first-class boarding is called, you gather your belongings and make your way to the gate. But something stops you. You look back at Keanu, still patiently standing in the coach line, and an idea strikes you. It's impulsive, maybe even a little crazy, but it feels right. You step out of the line and approach the gate agent. "Excuse me," you say, heart pounding. I'd like to give up my seat in first class." The agent looks at you, confused. "Can I give it to someone else?" you ask, glancing back at Keanu. The agent hesitates, clearly taken aback by your request. "Well, that's unusual, but I suppose it's possible. Are you sure?" "Yes," you reply without a second thought. "I'd like to give it to him." You point discreetly at Keanu. The agent raises an eyebrow but nods. Within moments, the swap is made. You walk over to Keanu, trying to keep your composure. "Hi, Mr. Reeves," you say, your voice slightly trembling. I just wanted to let you know that I gave up my first-class seat for you. I think you deserve it more than I do." For a split second, Keanu looks genuinely surprised. Then his face softens into the warmest smile you've ever seen. "That's incredibly kind of you," he says, his voice calm and sincere. "But you really didn't have to do that." "I wanted to," you insist. "It's the least I can do." Keanu thanks you, shaking your hand with both of his. He looks you in the eye, and there's something about his gratitude that feels almost humbling. He accepts your offer, but not without making sure you're absolutely certain. "If you change your mind, just let me know," he says earnestly. You reassure him that you're happy with your decision, and as you head to your new seat in coach, you can't help but feel a strange mix of excitement and contentment. Sure, the seat isn't as comfortable, and the legroom is practically non-existent, but there's a certain glow in your chest. You just made Keanu Reeves' day, and that's a story worth more than any first-class seat. As the flight begins and the cabin settles into a peaceful hum, you notice something unusual happening. Keanu isn't just sitting in his upgraded seat, enjoying the luxuries of first class. Instead, he's interacting with the flight crew and the passengers around him. He's cracking jokes, listening intently to people's stories, and even signing autographs for those brave enough to ask. He's not just a passenger. He's a source of joy for everyone in the cabin. At one point, you see him lean over to the flight attendant, whispering something that makes her smile. Moments later, she approaches you with a small tray. On it is a glass of champagne and a handwritten note. The note reads, "To my generous friend and coach, thank you for your kindness. It means more to me than you know. Enjoy this little treat." Keanu, your cheeks flush with warmth as you sip the champagne, feeling like you've just been gifted a slice of magic. But the story doesn't end there. As the plane lands and passengers begin gathering their belongings, Keanu does something that leaves everyone in awe. He stands up, turns to the first-class cabin, and thanks each person individually for sharing the space with him. Then, to your utter disbelief, He walks back to Coach. "Hey," he says, finding you among the crowd. "I was thinking, it's only fair that I repay the favor." You blink, confused. "What do you mean?" "How about we share a cab to the city?" he suggests. "My treat." You're stunned. Did Keanu Reeves just offer to share a ride with you? Before you can fully process what's happening, he's already helping you grab your bag from the overhead compartment. The two of you exit the plane together, drawing curious glances from fellow passengers. Some even try to snap photos, but Keanu doesn't seem to mind. He's too focused on chatting with you, asking about your life, your plans, and what made you decide to give up your seat. The cab ride is surreal. Keanu listens intently as you talk about your love for his movies and how his humble persona has always inspired you. In turn, he shares anecdotes from his life that feel more like heartwarming lessons than celebrity gossip. By the time you reach your destination, you feel like you've just spent time with an old friend rather than a Hollywood superstar. But then comes the moment that truly takes your breath away. As you're about to say goodbye, Keanu reaches into his bag and pulls out a folded piece of paper. "I know this might seem odd," he says with a sheepish grin, "but I was wondering if you'd like to stay in touch. Here's my number." Your jaw nearly hits the floor. Keanu Reeves is giving you his personal phone number? It's like something out of a dream. You stammer out a yes, barely able to form coherent words. He hands you the paper, shakes your hand one last time, and waves as he walks off into the bustling city streets. You stand there for a moment, clutching the paper like it's a golden ticket. This wasn't just a chance encounter. It was a life-changing experience. You gave up a first-class seat for Keanu Reeves, and in return, you gained a story, one filled with kindness, gratitude, and a touch of Hollywood magic. And who knows, maybe this is just the beginning of an unexpected friendship with one of the most genuine souls in the entertainment world. As you walk away from the cab, still clutching the paper with Keanu Reeves' number on it, you feel like you're floating. Did that really just happen? You gave up your first-class seat for a kind gesture, and it turned into an unforgettable moment. You think about texting him but quickly decide against it. After all, you don't want to seem too eager or come across as intrusive. Days pass, and the story feels like a beautiful dream you're reluctant to wake up from. You share the experience with a few close friends who are equally amazed. Keanu Reeves gave you his number. One of them asks in disbelief, "Do you even know what that means?" He must have really appreciated what you did. You nod, but deep down, you wonder, did he give you his number out of gratitude, or was it just his way of being polite? You decide to leave it up to fate. If it's meant to be, something will come of it. Then, one quiet evening, your phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Your heart races as you open it. "Hey, it's Keanu. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to thank you again for your kindness on the flight. People like you make the world a better place." You stare at the message, your emotions swirling. For a moment, you consider the best way to respond, but in the end, you decide to keep it simple and honest. "Hi, Keanu. Thank you for the kind words. It was my pleasure, honestly. I'm just glad you enjoyed the seat." To your surprise, he replies almost instantly. "It wasn't just the seat. It was the thought behind it. Let me ask you this. What made you decide to do it?" You pause, thinking back to that moment in the airport. What was it? Sure, Keanu Reeves is a celebrity, but it wasn't about his fame. It was something deeper. Something about his humility, his kindness, and the way he carried himself. "I guess I just felt like you deserved it." You type back. "You seemed so genuine and humble, and I figured it was a small way to show some appreciation." His reply comes quickly, and it's not what you expect. "That means a lot. But if I'm being honest, I think the world needs more people like you. We should talk more. If you're okay with that, talk more?" You blink at the screen, feeling a mix of disbelief and excitement. Is this real? Keanu Reeves wants to stay in touch? You reply with a cautious but enthusiastic, "Of course. I'd love that." What follows is a series of exchanges that feel almost surreal. Over the next few weeks, Keanu texts you regularly. The conversations aren't about Hollywood or his life as a celebrity. They're about life, values, and the small, meaningful things that make us human. You learn that he's as down-to-earth as he seems, and he learns that you're someone who values kindness above all else. One day, He surprises you with an unexpected suggestion. I have a day off coming up soon. Would you be interested in grabbing a coffee? My treat, of course. Your stomach flips. A coffee with Keanu Reeves? It sounds like a dream, but it's also intimidating. What would you even talk about? What if it's awkward? But you push those doubts aside and agree. When the day comes, you find yourself sitting in a cozy corner of a quiet cafe, nervously stirring your coffee. Then, he walks in. No entourage, no paparazzi, just Keanu in his usual understated attire, looking every bit as kind and approachable as you remember. He greets you with a warm smile and sits down across from you. Thanks for coming, he says. I know it's not every day you get a coffee invite from a random guy on a flight. You laugh, the tension easing a bit. Yeah, well, it's not every day that random guy happens to be Keanu Reeves. The conversation flows effortlessly. You talk about everything, movies, books, life experiences, and even the little quirks that make each of you unique. At one point, he asks about your dreams and aspirations. What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't had the chance yet? He asks, his gaze sincere. You hesitate, unsure whether to be completely honest. But something about his presence makes you feel safe. I've always wanted to make a difference, you admit. I don't know exactly how, but I want to leave the world a little better than I found it. Keanu nods thoughtfully. That's a noble goal. And you're already doing it, you know? That small act of kindness on the flight, it had a ripple effect. You never know how much something like that can inspire others. His words hit you deeply, and for the first time, you realize the true power of what you did. It wasn't just about giving up a seat. It was about the message it sent, the kindness it represented. As the afternoon turns into evening, Keanu glances at his watch. I should probably let you go, he says, standing up. But this has been amazing. Let's do it again sometime? You agree, still marveling at how natural it all feels. As you say goodbye, he gives you a firm handshake and a parting smile that stays with you long after he's gone. But the story doesn't end there. A few days later, you receive another text from Keanu. This time, it's an invitation to something you never expected. I'm hosting a small charity event next month. Would you be interested in coming as my guest? Your mind races. A charity event? As his guest? The thought is both exhilarating and nerve-wracking. But as you type your response, you realize something. This journey, what started as a small, selfless gesture on a plane, has turned into something far greater than you ever imagined. And the best part? It's only just beginning.